COSORI, you guys. They did it again. Hey guys, Kira here from 50 Shades of Mom, back to share another video. And in today's video, we are diving into COSORI's new device. I've been using COSORI products since the very beginning of my channel. They were the first person to ever reach out to me to ask me to sample and try one of their products. And I got to try their pressure cooker, which is just very similar to an Instant Pot. I fell in love with it instantaneously. I cooked like a roast beef in it for the first time. I couldn't believe how fast this thing cooked a roast. It was absolutely crazy. I fell in love, like I said, right away, and I've been using it ever since. That was 2 years ago, still repping it every day. Like I said, I love that product. But then they came out with an air fryer. And so they sent the air fryer to me and I fell in love with the air fryer, and then they updated their air fryer and they sent me a new one. And then now, you guys, they just came out with an air frying toaster oven. This thing is a bad mamma jamma. Like, it is so big, which at first I thought was going to be a deterrent, but it does so many things that there's going to be so many other devices I don't need anymore. This is like a combo device that does it all. And so I tried 3 different recipes in here, 2 things that I've never done that I'm blown away I can do in my house, and 1 thing that I love doing in their air fryer that I wanted to see how it was compared in this device. So I cooked up some wings, I used the dehydration function, and I made my own ranch flavored kale chips. And then, you guys, it's also a rotisserie. I made a rotisserie chicken right here in my kitchen. So it was really awesome to just kind of use this thing for so many different things, and I've fallen in love with it. Just like I've fallen in love with all their other products. And they are a company I will continue to keep repping because they continue to just better themselves each and every time that they put out a new product. So I'm gonna take you down to the counter. I'm gonna show you those 3 recipes and give you a little tour of my new toaster oven. Okay guys, so here is this bad mamma jamma. Like, look how gorgeous this thing is, but it is huge. So I'm dying to try out a couple of the different functions so I know if I can eliminate other devices in my house and just use this. So I'm excited to kind of dive in and check it out. Now here's all the things that it comes with. So they always come with a recipe book, and we're actually doing a few recipes out of this cookbook today. And then it always comes with a device manual, which, to be honest, with all these different functions, I've been using and referring to throughout this entire video. So absolutely love that they give such a detailed book. And then in here is just like a few other like little cards and things about their other products. And then here are the things that it comes with. So it's all different racks for different purposes. So this is just your basic rack for your toast, your bagels, your pizzas, your that kind of thing. And then you have the air frying basket, which is absolutely perfect for doing all sorts of things like wings, and we are going to dehydrate the kale on this one. So this is definitely useful, something you're going to use throughout the entire time that you're using this. And then here is your drip pan. So you're gonna put this one on the bottom just to kind of catch all of your drippings from things like the rotisserie chicken or the wings and stuff. So that's what this pan's for. And then this stuff, you guys, is for doing the rotisserie part, which was the most awesome out of this whole device. So the fact that I can do a rotisserie chicken inside of my house just amazes me. So this is the rod that goes through the chicken, and then here are the little forks that hold it onto the rod, and then this is the fork that you use to take this out of the device after everything's been cooked and it's super hot. So that's pretty much all that it comes with, besides, like I said, this big device. And it is super simple. Look, 3 buttons. This changes from Fahrenheit to Celsius. This turns it on to convection, and this is your start. Once you touch the function button, it comes on, and here's all the things that it does: toast, bagel, pizza, bake, roast, air fry, broil, cookies, rotisserie, dehydrate, ferment, and warm. So the options are endless. This just changes your function, and then this down here will change your time and temp. Like, super easy. My preschool kids are going to be able to use this thing. So it's time to dive in and let's cook a rotisserie chicken. We're gonna dehydrate some kale chips, and we're also gonna bake off some wings. Okay guys, so first and foremost, we are going to try air frying. just because the COSORI air fryer is one of my favorite appliances that I use on a weekly. At least once, if not twice a week, I pull that COSORI air fryer out and make something fabulous and delicious in it. And one of my favorite things is wings. I've been buying the heck out of some wings and cooking them in that air fryer because it makes me feel like I'm eating out at a restaurant, but I'm just making wings right here at home. So if I can make those kind of quality air fryer wings in this, just like I do the air fryer, then why would I need the air fryer? It's just one less device that I need. So I'm anxious to do that. Plus I'm gonna do the honey and hot sauce with the bee sting and surprise hubby when he gets home from work with a bowl of hot wings in our new favorite flavor. So we're gonna use just that simple cooking spray. That's all I ever use on the wings. No seasoning, no nothing. So I just have the extra virgin olive oil organic spray. And I'm literally going to open the package. I'm going to spray them down, and then we're going to place them inside here in the basket. So this is your air fry basket, and this is where we're going to place the wings on top of. And then I did put the food tray in the low position so that it'll catch any of the drippings. So look at the surface area, you guys. I absolutely love the large size of this tray because the basket itself is pretty big, but you want an even layer so that they cook in proper proportion. But that air fryer basket, sometimes they stack on top of each other because it's obviously not this wide in surface area. I usually have to do 2 runs to 1 bag of wings. I have to do in the air fryer twice. So with this, I don't know if I could get the whole thing, but I could get a heck of a lot more on here than I can the other one. So right there, that's a bonus as far as space. So our wings are in. We're going to slide our tray in and close the door. We're going to use our function button, and we're going to go down to where it says air fry, and then it says 400 degrees for 25 minutes, and we're going to hit the start button. Okay guys, so it is all done. The 25 minutes are up, and definitely upsides and downsides to this thing. So I will tell you that it's super smoky in my house right now, and you can see all of the grease and fat that dripped onto and like popped and sprayed on the inside of the door, and I can see that it's all down there and everything. So the convection oven and the air frying working in there kind of sprayed the stuff everywhere. However, look how stinking crispy that those wings are. I'm going to take them out right now and show you guys them and how crispy that they are. But I will tell you, in the air fryer, because of the way that they're positioned inside of that basket, it takes me 25 minutes twice. So this did 25 minutes once. And I told you guys that 1 4-pound bag from Walmart I have to do in the canister 2 times, which means it's 50 minutes twice, almost 2 hours, to make that whole 4-pound bag of wings. It's worth every second of it. But this, you guys, happened in 25 minutes. And like I said, if I put it strategically, I probably could fit that whole 4-pound bag in this. So to cut my cooking time down from 2 hours to just 25 minutes would be insane, but we're not going to know until we take these babies out. Look at that crispy wing, you guys. OMG, this is like heaven on a basket tray for me. I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you like wings, go in that description box and click that link and buy this toaster oven. My husband and I have not been able to stop talking about these wings. He said literally he's never had a wing that was so crispy on the outside, but that when he bit into it, the meat fell right off the bone. Those are just my bones. He came back and finished his, but you guys, these are the best wings, and they literally blew away the air fryer, which I didn't think was possible. All right, guys, so our next recipe up is we're going to use the dehydrating function. So I'm really excited about this because I have tons of plans to make like homemade beef jerky and things like that for Jake. There's like a really delicious recipe on how to dry out fruit, like orange slices and stuff. That looks really good. But today we're going to do ranch kale chips, just because I bought all these chips and pretzels and stuff for the kids to enjoy off on vacation, and mom can't eat that stuff. So the directions just say 1 tablespoon of oil, 1 tablespoon of a ranch seasoning. We're going to mix that in there, and then we're going to toss that mixture over the kale, and then we're going to do the same thing that we did with the wings. We're going to place it on the air fry basket with the tray underneath just to catch any of the crumbs that are going to fall from the seasoning, and then we're going to set the dehydration function. So first let's mix everything together and then we'll turn it on. All right, guys, so there is our kale covered in ranch seasoning, all laid out on this basket. I got a lot of pieces in there, so that should be good when it all crisps up to put in a bag. That'll be a couple of like chip sittings for mama. So we're gonna close this up. And now we're going to set this on the dehydrate function. So we're going to come over here to our function button, which again is so easy. As soon as you touch the knob, the screen comes on. So we went from toast to bagel to pizza to bake to roast to air fry to broil to cookies to rotisserie, and then we're stopping here at dehydrate. And so we're going to go up on the time. The time in the instruction booklet say 3 hours, you guys, which I thought was kind of insane, but we're gonna have to change the temperature. So the recipe booklet calls for a temp of 140. So if you turn this time and temp dial, it's going to start to change the time first. So first it's going to ask us to set it to 3 hours. So your options are either up to 24 minutes. So you can either do a maximum of 24 minutes on the dehydration setting, or it requires hours. So it'll go up by 30-minute marker. So 30 minutes to an hour, hour 30, 2.5 hours, and then 3 hours. So we need it on 3 hours, but we need it on 140 degrees. That's simple. Just push the dial in, and now we're going to change the dial down to 140 degrees. So that's it. We need it 3 hours, 140 degrees, and then we should have some dehydrated kale chips. So we're going to push the start button, and away we go. All right, guys, so our kale is all done, and I actually stopped at like a little over 2 hours because you're supposed to use like big pieces of kale, and I used a baby kale. So I feel like this was done a lot earlier than it needed to be. And you can tell there's some missing over here because I kept opening the door and taking out a little piece just to test it to see if it was crispy yet in chip form. They are so good, you guys. I'm not even one for kale, and the ranch is just enough to add like really delicious flavor to the greens. So I'm excited about picking on these where I'm cooking for Friendsgiving right now. So I am in the mode to like snack, but I don't want to eat anything when I know that I have a big meal coming up later on this evening. So this is going to be really good to pick on to kind of give me something to munch on. So I'm going to take them all out and stick them in this little bowl, and then I'll show you guys what they look like. I don't know if this recipe would have been any different had I had used the larger kale instead of the baby kale. I certainly didn't get a lot of it, but I enjoyed using the dehydration function, and I'm looking forward into dabbling into more. All right, guys, so this is the very last step and recipe that we're going to make inside of the toaster oven, and this time we're going to use the rotisserie. I am like over the moon that I can actually just do a rotisserie chicken right here in my own house because we use them all the time. So I'm actually going to make this and then freeze it and use it for next week's lunches. So here are the pieces that you're going to need. This is actually the rod that we're going to put through the chicken, and I've already washed and patted him dry. And then these are the little tongs. They have little screws here that we're going to open up, and you're going to stick this tightly into the chicken on each side to hold it firm while we lay it on this rack. And then we're going to stick this rack in there and set it to the rotisserie function. So I'm going to set the camera up and show you guys how to thread it through the chicken, and then like I said, we'll load it up and get it in there. So this is not a tricky step, but it did take me a minute to figure it out. So you're going to take that center rod and you're going to put it all the way through that chicken. So you're going to put it through the inside cavity and out the back cavity, and then you're going to slide the little forks onto the rod, and you're going to push them firmly into the chicken and then tighten down those knobs so that the forks don't go anywhere when that rotisserie is spinning around. Now, one thing I didn't realize till after I put it on the rod is that you needed to tie it up. Duh, I should have thought of that. I've tied up a chicken before, so I should have known that I needed to tie the legs and wings together. So lucky my girlfriend around the corner had a turkey kit that had some butcher's twine in it. So I borrowed that from her real quick and tied up the legs real good, and then I put the thread underneath and tied up the wings tight to him real good. So tying up the bird, the tighter that you do it and the more secure that it is, the easier it's going to be once you load it inside. Once it's securely on the rod, you're going to load it inside, and there's literally a rotisserie spot. So one end of the peg goes into a hole and the other end of a peg sits on a rotator. That's all it needs. You lock it into place, set it on rotisserie, and push start, and away she went. That was it. I literally found myself staring at this thing quite a few times, just watching it go around and around. Now, I will say this, it probably needed a little bit longer. It was only on for an hour. So being that we weren't eating it today, I ended up leaving it and not putting it back on, since we were just going to put it back in the oven to reheat it when it was time to eat it. But just another 10-15 minutes inside of the device and it would have been more than enough. Now, it did take a minute or two for me to figure out how to manipulate that big tuning fork to get the hot chicken out of there. And it did take me a minute to figure out how to get those forks that were holding the chicken in place on the rod out. But I know that in time, the more I use it, the more that it's going to become habit forming, because as easy as this was, I can see myself doing this on a weekly, just always having a rotisserie chicken on hand, because I just made a rotisserie chicken in my kitchen, you guys. Okay guys, so that's it for this time's video. I hope you enjoyed those 3 recipes. The wings, like, we're still talking about the wings. My husband has said never in his life, again, still, he has mentioned it a bunch of times, that the wings were just so delectable. And that, to me, right off the bat, that's a win for me, because the wings are what make me keep that air fryer in my cabinet. So I am so grateful that this thing does the wings great. But the rotisserie, that did it for me. I'm gonna rotisserie a chicken once a week. We can use it for so many things, and the ability to just do that right here with that juice and flavor, I'm just so excited. So if you too want to check out this toaster oven, I'm gonna have all of their information in the description box, with a Black Friday right around the corner and then Cyber Monday right after that. They have so many sales and advantages right on Amazon for you to get one of your very own. So again, I'm gonna link everything in the description box. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. I hope you guys have an amazing Thanksgiving. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.